Hey folks, afternoon. We're going to do some we're gonna look at the Darksun Unearthed Arcana playtest content. We're converting the subclasses into rule system. We're going to be looking at the Defiler Sorcerer today. So give me a moment here, make sure that we're coming through live. I'm going to do some fast posting, and then we'll get for the day. So checking in Arcana and playtest. I've got some static going on, a little chop here. Hopefully that's going to clear up here in a second. Waiting for it to come in. The subclasses into. Okay, maybe. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of breakup on my line right now. I honestly don't know if I'm going through or not. System. We're going to be looking at a lot of chop. Let's just hope for the best. Defiler Sorcerer today. So yeah, listen to that chop, man. That is so broken up. I'm just gonna do some social postings until I can confirm the signal is stabilized, and if it can't, then we'll just have to try again, I guess. We coming through? What is going on with the crazy lag? Give me a moment here. Make sure that we're coming through live. I'm gonna do. Not good. Waiting for my signal. Waiting for my signal. Where you at, buddy? We'll get for the day. So. Jesus. Yeah, it just keeps chopping on me. I don't know if it's just gonna break, or if this is coming through. So checking in Arcana. Maybe. Worst stream ever. Either kill this signal or just keep on. I've got some static. I have no idea if I'm even feeding or not. I'm trying to figure it out. Going on a little chop here. Maybe if maybe if I bring my quality down. Hopefully that's gonna clear up here in a second. Okay, I think maybe we have a stable signal. We're gonna give it a go. Hold on. Signal. It keeps sliding back on me. I don't know if it's just gonna break, or if this is coming through. Okay. It keeps backing up and buffering, and then it spins. Figure it out. Oh boy, this is horrible. Maybe if I bring my quality down. You know, Seattle's supposed to be the most wired city in America, and I'm just not seeing it. It keeps back. Oh boy, this is horrible. Okay, maybe if I bring my quality down. You know. All right, I'm just gonna trust that we're doing okay at this point. This is a train wreck, so sorry about that, guys. It is, I guess it is what it is, right? So we're going to attempt carrying on to, yeah, okay. Looks like maybe we stabilized. Okay, cool. So we're working on Darksun. Anyone that might still be here, thanks a lot. Let me fix my screen here real fast. If somehow you've stuck around at this point, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Here is the playtest document that we're using for the Color Mana System. You can look at it. It's a read-only document for you, but it is certainly available here for you to play with. And am I still here? There we go. Okay, looks like it's trying to stabilize. Yeah, okay. I got some crazy chop going on, but it looks like it's coming through. Okay, so yeah, that's the click through to the document. And here is the Defiler subclass, and let's, I suspect, I've already looked over the spell list, so I know it's going to be a solid black category. I'm going to crack open the color magic list, and we're going to grab the spells here and drop them in here. And I'm going to check again. Yeah, okay, cool. Looks like we're coming through. Okay, cool. So here's our list. Here is the sorcerer class has been converted to the Color Mana System. Mana pool that combines both the sorcery points and your mana. So by most full casters get 80 mana by 20th level, but the sorcerer gets the sorcery point kicker, so it gets 100 mana. One of the big differences here is that we have a max sorcery limit that has the half casting progression. This is the amount of additional mana that you can spend to modify spells with meta magic. So at 2nd level, you can only use 1 mana to modify meta magic. At 5th level, you can use 2, 3 at 9, 4 at 11, 4 at 13, and then 5 at 17. And our stack of meta magic, it scales from 1 point of meta magic for each of these. 2 points for this. Here's meta magic 1, meta magic 2, meta magic 3, and then we only currently have 1 4th meta magic. Maybe that'll change in the future. But there's 23 total. And the sorcerer gets a combined total of 25 spells across 20 levels, plus the 10 bonus spells that you get from your subclass, which we are going to look into now. I keep checking back here on YouTube to see if it's, because I had a lot chop here in the first opening. So the Defiler Sorcerer, here is our list of spells and abilities. So let's just start parsing this apart. We'll drop in here. I'm going to pluck this out as a separate document for us to be able to look at. There we go. You yuck it. There we go. This is the one. Okay, so variant spell list here is Blindness, Deafness, Inflict Wounds, Ray of Enfeeblement, Ray of Sickness, Bestow Curse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ray of Sickness, Inflict Wounds. Inflict Wounds is black. Ray of Sickness is black. Blindness and Deafness, I think, is black and blue. We'll look at the actual list here in a second. And then Ray of Enfeeblement. I think that might be black and red. Bestow Curse, I think, is black and white. Vampiric Touch is black. Blight, I believe, is black and green. Hallucinatory Terrain is, if I recall correctly, blue and green. And then Anti-Life Shell is black-green, and Contagion, I think, is also black-green. So let's verify. Looking at our green, I would spin that point, and I could cast the spell. if I wanted to cast that spell as 3rd level, like Fireball, for instance, is a red spell. It's 3 mana, 1 point has to be red, and the other 2 points could be any color that I want. I could research the spell, so it could be a different color than its natural native color. These are all just defaults for basically the DM to be able to describe generic stuff that the characters are encountering, to give the world the color coding for how magic generally works. Like when you see fire, you're generally thinking red magic, though you could change it to be white or black if you wanted to, and you would change the narrative to go along with that fire damage that painted in the white or black magic palette. So a character could change the color of a spell to match whatever kind of spells that you want by spending downtime to research it, by getting scrolls or spell books as loot that you would then be able to destroy, absorb, and then convert your own list of spells to comply with the colors that you found. Or if you're on the fly and you need something really badly, when you prepare your spells, you could prepare a spell twice. Once to be the colors that it normally would be, and then you could prepare it a second time to change it to the color that you want. In an ongoing campaign, it's going to be in your benefit to take downtime to be able to research the spells, so you get all the spells that you want and the colors that you want, so you can make your mana pool the colors that you want it to be, and then have access to all the spells in those colors. And ideally, like the most efficient way would be a very high level character has spent the time to get all their spells to be like black, and then all the mana in their pool is black, so all mana becomes universal, and you just become this black sorcerer, which is befitting for a Defiler Sorcerer, for instance. So diving into the actual subclass, I'm going to drop this, and I'm going to check here real quick to make sure that I'm still rolling. Yep, I am. Good. So let's start picking apart the subclass. And so we're looking at Defile and Empower. Defile and Empower. Oop, I need to get a clock going. I've got about 40 minutes left today. Our lunch goes by pretty quickly. So Defile and Empower, we're going to grab this language and copy, go over to our blank doc, blop, blop. Here, I had the chance to read this over in advance, and I've got feelings about it. Once per turn, when you roll damage for a spell you can cast using a spell slot, you can siphon your life energy into the spell and empower it. Roll a number of unexpended hit dice up to a number equal to half the level of spell expended. Cast a spell. Roll a number of unexpended hit point dice up to a number equal to the mana. Let's do it like this. You gain a unique meta magic option called Defiling. When you use Defiling meta magic, you can choose to expend hit dice unique meta magic option called Defiling. When you use Defiling meta magic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to let's see. You gain a unique means of channeling meta magic while casting sorcerer spells. When you use Defiling meta magic, Defile and Empower, you gain a unique means of channeling meta magic while casting sorcerer spells called Defiling. When you use Defiling Meta Magic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to channel Meta Magic up to your max sorcery limit. When you do so, you expend, you don't gain any hit points. When you use hit point dice this way, you don't you don't gain any hit points. Period. When you expend hit dice this way, there we go. File. I'm gonna just change this. I don't like what they're offering here, and this is my homebrew, so I'm just gonna call it Defiling Meta Magic. And I'm just gonna skip all this lifesteal garbage because I don't like tracking hit dice. And I don't like having to track, does this goblin have any hit dice left? Or does this goblin have any hit dice left? Now I have to start tracking hit dice on monsters. And that's, to me, that's shit game design. So I wanted to switch it so the main class feature then is, how can we make use of Defiling? We're going to find a clever way to up the stakes on using this stuff as we gain levels. So let's double check. Let's look at D&D Beyond, and we're going to look at classes: Bard, Druid, Cleric, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Sorcerer. I'm gonna just change this. I don't like what do I get? Is it a D6 hit die? There we go. Very good. All right, let's look at level 6 class feature. Defiler spells, corrupted caster. Let's see how this goes. Corrupted caster. You learn further ways to tap into corrupting magic within yourself, granting you the following abilities. Okay, so let's. I'm just going to grab this here. Copy, paste. You learn further ways to tap into corrupting magic within yourself, granting you the following benefits. Defiler's Ward. When you use a bonus action to transform sorcery points into a spell slot, you can wreathe your body in a protective web of defiling energy. Roll a number of d6s equal to the level of spell slot expended. You gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the roll if a creature hits you. Okay, we're gonna be able to fix this. And strengthened rot. Damage dealt by your sorcerer spells and sorcerer features. Ignore resistance to necrotic and poison damage. I love that. Defiler's Ward. When you take, we're going to do this. We're going to incorporate the innate sorcery. Okay, so let's spell save and advantage on attack rolls. Further, when you take a bonus action to when you take a bonus action to activate your innate sorcery feature, you can wreathe your body in a protective web of defiling energy. Roll a number of d6s equal to the level of spell slot created. You gain temporary hit points equal to the total rolled. We're going to do it as when you take a bonus action to activate your innate sorcery feature, you can wreathe yourself in a protective wedge of defiling energy. Roll a number of d6s equal to your max sorcery limit. Damage dealt by your sorcerer spells and sorcerer features. Ignore resistance to necrotic and poison damage. I love that. Defiler's Ward. When you take period, you gain temporary hit total rolled. If a creature hits you with a melee attack roll while you have temporary hit points, the creature takes necrotic or poison damage, your choice, equal to your charisma modifier. Okay, so we were looking at this earlier, that we know that our max sorcery limit is how many meta magic points we can spend on a spell when we're modifying it with meta magic. So at 6th level, when we gain access to this subclass feature, we can have a max sorcery limit of 2. By the time we get to 17th level, it's going to be 5. So at 17th level, whenever you activate innate sorcery, it's going to give you 5d6 points of temporary magic. Temporary hit points. It's a little bit more balanced than previously. And then strengthening rod is whenever I deal damage. It ignores resistance to necrotic. Resistance to necrotic and poison. That's easy enough. And so now we're going to drop down into 14. So we've already used the bonus action to activate your innate sorcery feature, and at level 7 action, once I reach level 7, as a bonus action, I could spend 2 mana and trigger innate sorcery as often as I want, as long as I still have mana in my mana pool. And it doesn't require a specific color to do it, it's just expend the mana. So with this feature, basically for 2 mana, and then moving forward, as a bonus action, spending 2 mana, I can get a number of temporary hit points equal to a number of d6 is equal to my max sorcery limit. At level 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, it's 1d6, 2d6, 3d6, 4d6, 5d6. There you go. For 2 mana, it becomes super efficient at high levels. That's a common theme that we see throughout the sorcery classes. So I like that curve. It feels good. Let's see. Let's go to the rest of the sorcerers are easy, man. So, and you should really lean into the innate sorcery, especially with this mana system, because you can get access to innate sorcery so easily. You can just make it your action routine just to trigger innate sorcery, and it acts as like a raging burst sort of affair. So you have the mana to spend it, so you may as well just burn it. Withering Aura. Here we go. Withering Aura. And here we go, using innate sorcery. Now they're starting to bring in the innate sorcery. I think you should bring in the innate sorcery by level 6 in general. If not level 3, by level 6. And then having it show up more in the class later is great. But when you use your innate sorcery, an aura of defiling magic fills a 15-foot emanation originating around you. While your innate sorcery is active, fills a 15-foot emanation originating from you while you're, period. Around you, from you, period. While your innate sorcery is active, granting you... Oh, I see what they're doing. While your innate sorcery is active, granting you the following additional benefits. Now I get how they're wording that. It's a little clumsy, but I won't hate them for it. And then Essence Siphon. And here we go, using innate sorcery. Now they're starting to bring in the innate sorcery. I think you should bring in the innate sorcery by level. When an enemy within your aura hits you with an attack roll, you can reduce that attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals your charisma modifier. Okay, that's cool. And then Essence Siphon. When an enemy dies within the aura, you regain mana. Once you use this benefit, you can't use this again until you use innate sorcery again. Okay, so the way that the game works by raw is you get 2 innate sorceries, and every time you roll initiative, you gain another use of innate sorcery at level 7. The way that we do it is when you expend mana, you can get more innate sorceries anytime that you want, and as long as you have mana in your pool and you're willing to spend 2 points, you can get it over again. So giving your characters D4 sorcery points every time you spend 2 sorcery points is that's muddled math. I mean, we are the way that we calibrate sorcerer with the mana system allows us to lean into mana expenditure a lot more. So I don't like the Essence Siphon. I mean, it doesn't work. I can't spend mana to get mana back. It's just a clumsy mechanic. So when an enemy within the aura hits you with an attack roll, you can reduce the attack. I like the Defiling Shroud, and granting you the following additional benefits. When an enemy dies within the aura, you regain sorcery points. I don't like that. And we took away the defiling. We changed the defiling and corrupt. We just changed it to defiling meta magic, so that we can expend our hit dice instead of mana to trigger meta magic effects, which makes sense. What could we do instead? Withering Aura, Defiling Shroud. You know what? What this is making me think of is the fact that we picked up Blight. So let's go look at what Blight does real quick, because I suspect there's an opportunity here for us to make Blight a really useful spell, as opposed to not being useful like ever. So let's check out what Blight does and see if there's a synergy here with Defiling Magic. A creature that you can see within range makes a Constitution saving throw. A creature that you can see within range makes a Constitution saving throw, taking 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. A plant creature automatically fails the save. Alternatively, target a non-magical plant that isn't a creature, such as a tree or shrub. It doesn't make a save, it simply withers and dies. Using a higher level spell slot increases the damage. This might be the thing. This might be the thing. Okay, so let's look at this. Blight, 7th level. And we're getting this at 14th. Defiling Shroud. When an enemy within your aura hits you with an attack, you can reduce that attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals your charisma modifier. Essence Siphon. When an enemy... How do I want to do this? When an enemy within the aura hits you with an attack, well, I'm good with that. You can reduce the attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals your charisma modifier. We already have a ward that reflects. No, this creates temporary hit points, and it triggers back at you. Oh, I like that. Okay, Defiling Shroud. Hold on, I have a thought. Well, casting sorcerer spells called Defiling. When you use Defiling meta magic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to channel meta magic up to your max sorcery limit. When you expend hit dice this way, you don't gain any hit points. Essence Siphon. When an enemy dies within your aura, when an enemy within your aura hits you with an attack roll, when you use Defiling Magic, you can deal when you use Defiling Magic, roll the expended hit point dice, dealing the total rolled, dealing necrotic damage to a target within the Withering Aura. You can see. When you use Defiling Magic, roll the expended hit dice, dealing necrotic damage to a target within the withering aura that you can see. Equal to the result of the dice rolled. If the target is a plant creature, the damage is doubled when you use Defiling Magic, you can choose to roll the expended hit dice, dealing necrotic damage to a target within the withering aura that you can see equal to the result of the dice rolled. If the target is a plant creature, the damage is doubled. In addition, all plant life, what's the word that they used in Blight? If the target is a plant creature, in addition, all non-magical plants that aren't a creature immediately wither and die. In addition, when you use Essence Siphon, there. Different. It's a different approach to the class, but I like this one. It's not Draconic Sorcery, it's Defiling Sorcery. There. Okay, that's 14th, and now all we have left is 1, 2. Thank you, Timely Timer. We're almost done. 18th level, which is Superior Defiler. So let's... oh, wow, that's really short. Let's grab it. Superior Defiler. You've protected your ability to control and channel Defiling Magic, granting you the following benefits: Fouled Soul, and further defilements. Let's see what this does. You have immunity to poison and exhaustion conditions. I'm cool with that. Further defilement. The size of your withering aura increases to 30-foot emanation. In addition, enemies can't regain hit points. That's fine. They have no reason to change that. Cool. Okay, we finished it. What a tight kit. So, yeah, Superior. This is really cool. I'm really happy with this now. So we get a stack of spells. And Defiling Metamagic, you gain a unique means of channeling metamagic while casting sorcerer spells called Defiling. When you use Defiling Metamagic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to channel metamagic up to your max sorcery limit. When you expend hit dice this way, you don't gain any hit points. Corrupted Caster. You learn further ways to tap into the corrupting magic within yourself, granting you the following benefits. Defiler's Ward. When you take a bonus action to activate your innate sorcery feature, you can wreathe your body in a protective web of defiling energy. Roll a number of d6s equal to your max sorcery limit. You gain temporary hit points equal to the total rolled. If a total rolled, period. If a creature hits you with a melee attack roll while you have temporary hit points, the creature takes necrotic or poison damage equal to your charisma modifier. Strengthening Rot. Damage dealt by your sorcerer spells and sorcerer features ignores resistance to necrotic and poison damage. At 14th level with Withering Aura, when you use your innate sorcery, an aura of Defiling Magic fills a 15-foot emanation originating from you. While your innate sorcery is active, granting you the following additional benefits. Defiling Shroud. When an enemy within the aura hits you with an attack roll, you can reduce the attack's total damage against you. The reduction equals your charisma modifier. And then Essence Siphon. When you use Defiling Magic, when you use Defiling Meta Magic, Meta Magic, you can choose to roll the expended. Hit dice, dealing necrotic damage to a target within the Withering Aura that you can see. You can choose to target. You can choose to target a creature within the Withering Aura that you can see to take damage. Necrotic damage equal to the result of the hit dice rolled. When you use Defiling Meta Magic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to channel. You can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana up to your max sorcery limit in any combination with mana expended for meta magic to channel meta magic effects. So like at 5th level, when you can channel 2 mana, one could be mana, one could be a hit die, both could be hit dice, or both could just be mana. So we have that locked down. So now it's Siphon. So when you use Defiling Meta Magic, you can choose to target a creature within the Withering Aura that you can see to take necrotic damage equal to the result of the hit point dice rolled. You can see. I need to word that differently. When you use Defiling Meta Magic, you can choose to target a creature within the Withering Aura that you can see to take necrotic damage. Equal to the result damage. You can see rolling the hit point dice. The word's not there. You can choose to target a creature within Withering Aura that you can see to take necrotic damage equal to the result of the hit dice roll. Yeah, no, that actually works. Okay, cool. If the target is a plant creature, the damage is doubled. In addition, when you use Essence Siphon, all non-magical plants that aren't a creature immediately wither and die. So that creates the empty patches of ground that they had in 2nd edition Darksun. The original Darksun, whenever you cast magic, it would leave a crater of destroyed of ash that couldn't grow plants there. So they simplified it in 5e because of course they did. Honestly, I gotta say, tracking, like, you couldn't cast another sorcery spell. You couldn't cast another spell if you were already standing on defiled ground. And it takes a year for that ground to be able to recover. And you can cast Defiling Magic in it again. I will tell you this. It was a massive pain in the ass to try to track patches of ground that were defiled and weren't defiled. Whether you're a DM or a player, when you have a bunch of defilers fighting the characters. If you have like 3 defilers on the battlefield, and each one of them is like creating these little zones of death whenever they cast magic, your characters are going to want to lure them into patches of ashen land that's already been defiled land, so they can't cast spells anymore. That was a massive pain in the ass. So I'm glad that they didn't lean into those mechanics. But I like the language of you could destroy plant life in a zone while you're within your innate or your defiling aura. So hey, what's going on? Darksun is awesome. Yeah, Steve. So this is done. I'm just passing through it again to make sure it's good before we end our day. In addition, so Right. And then we have Superior Defiler is you perfected your ability to control and channel defiling magic, granting you the following benefits. Defiled Soul. This doesn't change. This is as is written in the UA. Immunity to poison, exhaustion, and the size of your withering aura increases to 30 feet. In addition, enemies can't regain hit points while in your aura. I love that. So just to look it over again, here's the defiling spells with the native color breakdown. It's all black with occasional bits of white, blue, and green. So naturally, the Defiler leans the most into green. You played a mole. Moles were awesome, dude. Darksun was so fucking cool. It was just it was fun. I liked elf. I would play either elves or Thri-kreen. Those are my two faves. But mad respect for mole. Dwarves were stupid tanky, and half giants were pretty cool. But we generally stayed away from half giants because they were really big and inconvenient. Second edition made large size very inconvenient. And most dungeons weren't built for size large creatures to go kicking around inside of. So for convenience, we tend to stay away from half giants. But okay, just to sweep through it one more time. Defiling metamagic, you gain a unique means of channeling metamagic while casting sorcerer spells called Defiling. While you use Defiling metamagic, you can choose to expend hit dice instead of mana to channel metamagic up to your max sorcery limit in any combination with mana expended to channel metamagic effects. When you expend hit dice this way, you don't gain any hit points. And then, you can stack up the amount of metamagic that you can cast at 2, 5, 9, 13, 17. You can stack 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana on top of the spells that you're casting to modify it with all the metamagic options. And just again, to look at the metamagic options, we've got 23 metamagic options. First rank metamagic costs 1 mana each. So at second level, you can use one at a time because your max sorcery limit is 1. So all these spells you can pick up, and you can prepare spells or metamagic. You get 10 spells from the Defiler Sorcerer subclass, and you get 7 cantrips? Yeah, you get 7 cantrips by 20th level. So, and you get 25 spells. So you get 10 spells, 7 cantrips, and then 25 prepared spells, which you could spend 23 of those prepared spells on all of the metamagic options that are currently in the playtest. And then, at second level, you can only spend 1 mana at a time. And then at 5th level, you can spend 2 mana, which could either be a single second rank metamagic effect or 2 first rank metamagic effects stacking at the same time. At 9th level, you can spend up to 3, so a third rank, a second, and a first, or 3 first. 13th level, you can spend 4, maximize spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage, instead of rolling the dice to determine the total, the spell deals maximum damage. That's pretty sweet. Or a third and first, 2 second, or 4 first. So you can combo them. And that 17th level, you can channel 5 meta magic on top of the spell that you're casting. And again, with the new meta magic rules that we have here for the Defiling meta magic, so instead of spending that extra magic to trigger the meta magic effects, you can spend your hit dice, and you get all of your, with 5e24, you get all of your meta magic dice back at 20th when you finish a long rest. So at 20th level, you have 100 mana that can be spent on any amount of, you could cast a cantrip which casts no mana, and you could pump 5 meta magic into that cantrip. So you could spend your mana pool just supercharging cantrips and do a shitload of stuff with cantrips, like propel people, teleport stuff around, give yourself hit points back, whatever. A bunch of cool stuff. Moles are a unique DS race. Hell yeah, they are. Yeah, moles are cool. I really dug them. So the Defiling, you can basically convert your hit dice into additional mana. So the Defiling Wizard, the Defiling Sorcerer actually has effectively 120 mana, not 100. While a Wizard would have up to 80 mana at 20th level. The Defiler is obviously... I honestly think that's a really good way of expressing Defiling magic, by using hit dice for meta magic. That's a really good effect. I think it's a good ludonarrative. It connects with the vibe of what a Defiler is. It has the essence drain idea baked into it, and it makes use of a resource that a sorcerer might make use of, but might not need to. So I really like that. I'm really happy with that effect. Patting myself on the back here. Corrupted Caster, when you learn further ways to develop self, Defiler's Ward. When you use a bonus action to activate your innate sorcery, you can wreathe your body in a protective web of defiling energy. You roll a number of d6s equal to your max sorcery limit. So at 6th level, your max sorcery limit is 2. At 17th, it's 5. Roll that many d6s. Gain those temporary hit points. And your spells that deal necrotic and poison damage can't be resisted. Withering Aura while your innate sorcery. So we're using innate sorcery as early as 6th level. Then we stack on top of it the Aura of Defiling Magic fills a 15-foot emanation. Aura hits you. If you have when an enemy within the aura hits you with an attack roll, you can reduce the damage by your charisma modifier. And then when you use the Defiling Magic, when you expend your hit dice, you can roll d6s and deal that much necrotic damage to your target. In addition, when you use Essence Siphon, all non-magical plants die, and if it's a plant creature, you deal double damage. And then Superior Defiling, which is immune to poison exhaustion, and increases to 30 feet, and creatures can't heal. That's a tight package. I like it. It's I don't think it's the most with these revisions. I don't think it's anywhere near the most powerful sorcerer out there. I'm struggling to think which one is, honestly. I like Wild Magic a lot because of how often you can trigger Wild Magic and the stuff that can do. That might be the most powerful one. Lunar Sorcery is also very strong. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. So, freaking cheers! I'm going to actually grab this copy, and then here. UA equals there. All right, that's the Defiling Sorcerer. So that's that. Super fun. I love Darksun. I love Color Mana. I love combining them both. If Darksun becomes a reality, I'll probably end up doing stuff with it on the DMsGuild or maybe on Patreon. Who knows? But I'll stream it. I'll stream it regardless. I love Darksun, man. That's it for now. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. We're going to do some more artwork for the Eberron adventure that we are going to be publishing. And Thursday, we'll be back doing art, and we'll be doing more Bastion campaigns. We'll be working on sabotage mechanics, sabotaging facilities and bastions on Thursday night. Friday morning, we'll do more artwork, and then Friday lunchtime in the afternoon like this, we will work on the Sorcerer, the Sorcerer King Patron. Yeah, looking forward to it. I bet this is going to be a lot of blue-black magic. Would not surprise me. Maybe white. Anyway. Hey man, thanks for hanging out, Steve. Appreciate you, man. And anyone else that's checking out the channel, thanks a lot. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Check out my Discord community down below if you have questions about anything that I stream. I'm happy to help coach, counsel, and add you to playtesting if you're interested. And yeah, check out my books down below. Make a purchase if you want to encourage similar behavior in the future. And we'll be doing artwork till I die. So stick around for that. See you guys on the other side. Later.